Hello friend, I am Dr. Nitik Trivedi coming back with the new educational video Cell Injury and Cellular Adaptation Part 2. I have already explained the Part 1. In the Part 1 of this video, I have explained introduction of the pathophysiology, various definition as well as the homeostasis mechanism. In the homeostasis mechanism, I have explained the positive feedback systems as well as the negative feedback system. In part 2, I am going to explain type of cell injury, reversible cell injury as well as the irreversible cell injury. So kindly subscribe my channel to get the more educational video. Cell injury. As we know, cell injury occur as a result of physical, chemical or biological insult or as a result of vital substrate deficiency like as the vitamins and minerals. The term cell injury is used to indicate a state in which the capacity for the physiological adaptation is exceed. This may occur when the stimulus is excessive or when the cell is no longer capable to adapt or adjust without suffering from some form of the damage. Cell injury is divided into the two types. First is the reversible cell injury, non-lethal damage, which generally can be corrected by the removal of the stimulus. Here you can see into the picture. Here, normal cell when getting the stress adaptation occur, then it produces the cell injury. But when the stress is gone, then it again comes into the normal position. Here there are some pictures for the cell adaptation to the stress, atrophy, hypertrophy, hyperplasia, metaplasia, dysplasia, which is the one kinds of the cell injury, or it may be reversible or it may be irreversible. Now, what is the irreversible cell injury? Irreversible cell injury is the lethal damage, cannot be recover or it produce the permanent injury. Cell injury, how can it arise? Some of the genetical defect, abnormality of the severe dietary factor, immune reaction, physical or chemical agent may cause the cell injury. So, I am going to explain first reversible cell injury. What is the reversible cell injury and how it arises? If hypoxia or ischemic effect is for shorter duration, listen, for the shorter duration, then it produces reversible cell injury because this kind of the effect restored by the vascular circulation. Example is coronary artery occlusion or myocardial contractility. Here in the picturization, normal cell it getting affected by the cell injury and it can be recovered. So when cell is recovered from the injury, it can be known as the reversible cell injury. Some of the sequential biochemical and ultrastructural changes in the reversible cell injury are as under. To know how it can be occur or what kinds of the sequential biochemical and ultrastructural changes are arises. So first, depletion of the ATP. As we know, when we breathe the oxygen, then what will happen? Oxygen produce the ATP. Oxygen produce the ATP. ATP is essential for the synthesis of the protein, for the synthesis of the cell wall, for the synthesis of the cytoskeletal structure, etc. Who can produce the ATP? Mitochondria use the ATP. Mitochondria when use the ATP, mitochondria use the oxygen. Sorry, mitochondria use the oxygen and it generates the ATP molecules. Here, oxygen, mitochondria use the oxygen and it produce the ATP. So what will happen into the cell injury? If ischemic condition and hypoxia occur, ischemic condition and hypoxia occur, mitochondria not receive the oxygen. If mitochondria not receive the oxygen, then it will not produce the ATP and it damages the cell. Here you can see mitochondria not produce the ATP because of lacking of the oxygen. So ATP is the primary requirement for the synthesis of lipid, protein and cell membrane. In human body, ATP is produced by aerobic reaction and anaerobic reaction. Aerobic reaction, that means what? By the using of the oxygen molecules, mitochondria produce 36 molecules of the ATP, nearly 36 molecules of the ATP. And anaerobic reaction, that means what? Without the using of the oxygen, it produces the two molecules of the ATP. Anaerobic reaction is carried out by the glycogen. Glycogen convert into the lactic acid and it produces the two molecules of the ATP. Now, in the ischemic condition, the supply of oxygen and glucose both are affected. Ischemic condition here, supply of the oxygen and glucose both are affected. So what will happen? Decrease the production of the ATP. Due to this effect, protein synthesis, cell membrane formation, lipid synthesis process get affected and it leads to the cell injury, because as we have discussed, ATP is essential for the protein synthesis, cell membrane formation and lipid synthesis. Due to the insufficiency of oxygen supply, RBC disorder, heart disease, lungs disease will form. Generally, anaerobic cell injury are less severe than the aerobic cell injury, because aerobic cell injury produces more oxygen, more ATP, and anaerobic produce the two molecules of the ATP. That's why generally anaerobic cell injury are less severe than the aerobic cell injury. So, what will happen next? Failure of the sodium ATPase pump and decrease the protein synthesis. How it will produce? In the hypoxia condition, in the normal level. First, we'll take the normal level. Here there is the sodium potassium pump. Outside the sodium concentration is more and inside the sodium concentration is less. So what will happen? From outside the sodium goes inside by the concentration gradient. Then what will happen? When sodium goes inside the cell from higher concentrations to the lower concentration, that time it also take the some of the water molecules. Here you can see some of the water molecules also goes inside the cell. Then what will happen into the normal condition? In the normal condition, when sodium from the inside to want to come back into the outside, it requires some form of the ATP. That's why it is the active transport mechanism and it can be carried out by the sodium potassium ATPase pump. So here sodium goes outside by the using of the ATP. But what will happen into the normal condition when the ATP pump is not working, when the sodium potassium pump getting affected, that time sodium comes inside from higher concentration to the lower concentration, but it is unable to go from inside to outside. So what will happen? Inside the sodium concentration getting increased. So what will happen? I told you that when sodium comes inside, also water goes from the inside. So here water molecules go inside the cell. That means disturb the osmotic balance. Osmotic balance get disturbed. And when water goes inside the cell, then the normal amount, it will produce the disturbance into the osmotic balance and it produces the structural changes into the cell. Here, when water molecules increase inside and it produces the osmotic imbalance, then what will happen? Here, ribosomes is connected or bind with the endoplasmic reticulum. When water molecules getting increased or osmotic balance get disturbed, ribosome detach from the endoplasmic reticulum. As we know, ribosomes is essential for the protein synthesis. When it detach from the endoplasmic reticulum, so it cannot synthesize the protein. So protein synthesis getting affected, as well as the it produce the structural changes of the cell wall. Then third, intracellular lactic acidosis and nuclear clumping arise into the reversible cell injury. So what will happen here? Here, when ribosomes getting detached from the uh, endoplasmic reticulum, then what will happen here? When ribosomes detach from it cannot synthesize the protein, and here intracellular lactic acidosis and nuclear clumping. So here in the first, anaerobic glycogen produce the two molecules of the ATP, but during the hypoxia condition, aerobic phosphorylation cannot arise. That's why what will happen? Hypoxia, that means lacking of the oxygen. That's why 36 molecules of the ATP will not arise. That's why anaerobic glycogen synthesis will start and it produces two molecules of the ATP. But how it can be arise? Glycogen convert into the lactic acid. That's why increase the lactic acid concentration outside the cell and lactic acid goes inside the cell. That's why what will happen inside the cell, acidic environment getting increased. That's why lower the pH, and these lower the pH produce the lactic acidosis and it produce the nuclear clumping here due to low oxygen supply. Aerobic ATP formation process get affected and mitochondria fails to work. That's why what will happen? So anaerobic glycolytic pathway start to produce the ATP. These result in rapid depletion of glycogen and accumulation of the lactic acid arise. That's why what will happen? It lower the intracellular pH due to the intracellular acidosis and it produce clumping of the nuclear chromatin. This effect release of the lysosome and it produce the cellular digestion. So what will happen? I told you that these are the reversible process. It arises by the hypoxic condition, but when again these stimuli getting removal and oxygen is start getting by the uh, cell, then what will happen? It again regain their original position. That's why this process is known as the reversible cell injury. Here you can see when a cell is able to get the oxygen, again it comes from damaging side to the normal size. That's why it is known as the reversible cell injury. Now, irreversible cell injury. What is irreversible cell injury? Long-lasting or persistent ischemic or hypoxic effect produce cell death or irreversible cell injury. If cell fails to reverse the mitochondrial function as well as disturbance in the cell membrane or plasma membrane function cause the irreversible cell injury. As we discussed, when the plasma membrane getting affected as well as mitochondria are unable to regain their function, that time irreversible cell injury arise and it produce the cell death. How it can be arise? We'll see. First, calcium influx produce excitotoxicity into the cell. What is the excitotoxicity? We'll see. Here, this one is the calcium pump. This one is the calcium pump. Outside the calcium is higher than the inside the cell. When calcium pump getting affected, so what will happen inside the cell? Calcium level getting increased. When inside the calcium level getting increased, so what will happen? Calcium activate the various enzymes like as the protease, endonuclease, etc. So what will happen? Protease break down the protein, endonuclease break down the DNA molecules, as well as it increase the lactic acid. How calcium produce due to the hypoxia condition, persistence hypoxic condition, calcium produce increase the lactic acid level by the anaerobic pathway. That's why what will happen? In the acidic pH, lysosome enzyme getting activated. Lysosome is the killing machine. Lyso means lysis, zome means enzyme. So it kill the various structural, it kills or it destruct the uh, cell wall. Here it produce the pore formation in the cell wall. That's why what will happen, it activate the various kinds of the enzyme like as the phospholipase. So phospholipase what will produce, damage the phospholipids. So here it produce the damage the cell wall. When the cell wall getting damaged, then what will happen here, when the ischemic blood losing from the cell. Here you can see by the arrow, blood get out from the cell, so it produces the permanent cell injury. As I told, when the calcium concentration increase inside the cell, it activates the various enzymes like as protease which break down the protein, endonuclease which break down the DNA, various hydrolytic enzyme as to produce the effect onto the mitochondria, as well as activate the phospholipase. Phospholipase what will produce, breakdown of the phospholipid, as well as it increase the uh, acidic pH by the anaerobic condition. So what will happen, inside the pH getting decreased, that's why it activate the various lysosome enzyme. So these all effect damage the cell wall. Now what will happen when the mitochondria getting damaged? Here mitochondria getting damaged, so what will happen, it cannot be repairable when mitochondria getting damaged. So what will happen, it produce the permanent cell death. It produce the permanent cell death. This injury cannot be reversed. That's why this one is known as the irreversible cell injury. So what will happen into the irreversible cell injury? Larger amount of the intracellular calcium produce damage in mitochondrial cell wall, as well as produce excitotoxicity. What do you mean by the excitotoxicity? Due to the increase the intracellular calcium level, activation of the various kinds of the enzyme like as the phospholipase, endonuclease, protease. It is known as the excitotoxicity reaction. These effects damage the cell structure such as the component of the cytoskeletal, plasma membrane, DNA, etc. So, what are the effect of the various enzymes when it getting activated by the increasing of the intracellular calcium level? Effect of activated phospholipase. Activated phospholipase degrade the membrane phospholipid, which is the main constituents of the plasma membrane, as well as due to the lack of the ATP generation, new phospholipid will not form, and this effect X aggregated. Now, what will happen when the protease getting activated? Activated protease damage the cytoskeletal of the cell membrane, leads to the irreversible cell injury. What will happen when the endonuclease getting activated? Activated endonuclease damage the nucleoprotein, as well as the it produces the clumpings of the nucleus, produce the fragmentation of the nucleus, and dissolve the nucleus. So all the organelles getting affected into the irreversible cell injury due to the increasing of the intracellular calcium level. Eh, as well as into the irreversible cell injury when the oxygen interruption is the long lasting. That time anaerobic process will start to form the ATP. So what will happen? Low pH of the cell activate and release the lysosomal hydrolytic enzyme. Lack of oxygen decrease the intracellular pH, and it activate or release the lysosomal hydrolytic enzyme like the lactic dehydrogenase, creatine kinase, hydrolase, RNase, DNase, glycosidase, phosphatase, lipase, amylase, cathepsin, etc. Activation of these enzymes digest the cellular components through the phagocytic effect and cause the irreversible cell injury. So friends, I have explained you the reversible cell injury and the irreversible cell injury in this session. Reversible cell injury is non-lethal and irreversible cell injury is the lethal. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this video, kindly subscribe my channel and write the comment. Thank you. I will come back with the new educational video in this channel. So keep update with this channel. Thank you. Thank you very much all of you.